Hey everyone. So I've debated whether or not to have a video about this. I'm a big fan of customer service. I always have been. Um, I'm not really doing anything with the customer service at the moment, but I've done very well with it. Um, I'm very fortunate for the things I've received for customer service, but I just kind of wanted to say a little bit like on how to better customer service. Um, So I write down a lot of things in my phone about customer service, about this and that, what could change. And I never really tell anybody. So I kind of figured I would verbally say it over YouTube and hopefully way kind of going out of my way to do these things could change customer service. Um, so I find customer service is not very good right now. It's it's cringy. It's very cringeworthy. There's a wall up employee, the customer. No one's able to get that mutual respect, and the only reason why is because the customer feels like they're being attacked, but so does the employee. The employee feels like they're being attacked by the customer. So that's always the downside. Um, and we're always trying to figure out on how to build that relationship. Um, I know that there's like those scripts and everything that people end up doing when you're doing like the trainings. And they mention, oh, if they have a problem and all these things. Um, the way that I actually figured out to do customer service, um, I didn't really follow that stuff. I kind of took it in, not really all that much. I thought it didn't explain enough. When they give the scripts on saying, "Hey, this is what you say to a customer. Hey, how's it going?" Da da. Oh, just and then they say, "Oh, just be yourself." Uh, that's hard for a lot of people. When people go into customer service, they do it the best way that they can for the training to be able to implement better structures for the relationships for customers. And I think it kind of makes employees feel a bit nerve wracking. They get a bit nervous about it. They think that they have to do things a certain way. Um, Heads up, you don't have to do customer service a certain way. Um, you do it, yeah, you do it from yourself. You do it from your own experiences. The best way I can explain it, you have empathy. You have friends. You do what you would do for your friends. You would do for a customer, and it's kind of odd to say because it's a business relation. It's a different, but it's not. Well, I used to work at McDonald's, and I did very well with that. I never became a manager, all these things, but I was so the, I don't know if I should be explaining the things I've done. I ended up getting our store ended up having like over 80% of customers that went to straight head office and mentioned the customer service, um, which is very good. We ended up gaining a commercial for the interweb. Um, and it was all for managers. It was a Coca-Cola promotion. Um, we ended up making over $3,000 donations for McHappy Day. I was a big contributor for that. Um, it was insane. A lot of the things my franchise owner would constantly be getting phone calls on a daily basis about my customer service. I ended up getting a Mandarin gift card. He went up to me and thanked me. And he's now and then his wife ended up coming in and said that every time now when he picks up the phone, he's expected that it's going to be about me. So it was very nice. It was a very nice feeling. Um, the best way that I kind of looked at it, and I remember I told other employees at McDonald's before, and I told them, they were like, "How do you get people to like you?" And I was like, "Oh, I felt so bad, you know. It's not, it's customers. People need to get this out of their head, thinking that customers don't like them. If they stop doing these things, customer service would change immensely. It would change so much. So the way that I looked at it, I told her, I said, it's kind of like a weird, stuck up kind of way of saying it, but it's true. And I think it's actually a great way to actually live your life too. Um, put yourself first before the company. And it sounds kind of weird. It's like, what do you mean by that? No. I mean by put your name. You are the name of the company. So I ended up putting myself in that situation, and I became Evan from McDonald's. So it was very cool. I just did what I did. When customers start coming in, they like the energy, they like the feeling. Then they start talking to their friends, this and that. It goes massive. Everybody, I think, needs to realize that when they're employees, they have the power to control these situations. It needs to be done. They need better confidence. I think managers, I think they need to be there for their employees a lot more. I think they do the materialistic, incentives kind of things. But what is that really? It's nice, but it comes from here. You gotta do it from there. If it goes down the line and you do it from here, then the employee will then bring it out to the customer. That's what it is. It's you just it's a chain effect. Um, I tell people these things, like I tell the weird way that I say is like the secret to customer service, but I guess it's like my mindset that I have for these things. This never happened, but I always give people like this kind of like analogy story kind of thing. Um, so imagine this guy, okay? He holds the door open for this other customer. This other customer is an older lady. She's in a walker, holds the door. As he's holding the door for her, he gets a phone call. And it's now his son has now been suspended twice. He's fuming. He's not happy, but he was a great guy. He just did the nicest thing. He was holding the door. He was having a happy-go-lucky day. Very nice gestures, right? But God forbid, right? He got that phone call. So he comes in now into the establishment, and he's not happy. So then he ends up getting his order made, and it's a mistake. But, so say for an example, say it's McDonald's. This never happened at McDonald's, but so say it's at McDonald's. And the Big Mac that his son wanted was a mistake. It was ended up having a big mistake. Now that's a big trigger. We're not aware of this, right? We don't know this. But it is. It's a trigger. It's a trigger because it was his son's burger, which now his son has also been suspended twice. So now it's like, oh great, now a mistake. Now I have to look at this even more, and now it's my son. Now I have to think about this again. I'm in a public place, and he's going to get even angrier. And then we're trying to diffuse the situation, right? As they say, diffuse the situation. Oh, he's not. The guy wasn't even a bad guy. So what ends up happening? So then they end up making the burger in the back. But guess what? When this is happening, all the people in the back are saying all these bad things about this man. This then goes up to the front. After he leaves, everybody now has this sick feeling that, wow, I feel horrible. That person was mean. That person was this and that. No, he wasn't. And I think that people need to realize that there's a back end stories that everybody in life has. And I think that people kind of forget when it's business. And it sucks because that's life. We're humans. We all have a back end stories. We all have triggers. We all have things that make us do the things that we do. And we lash out for certain words that people say. It's the weirdest things, but it's true. We do. There's the way that they try to implement the trainings and everything. They mention problems and this and that. It's not a problem. It's a concern. And the only reason, and it's mind blowing that no one explains it. It's a problem that the customer thinks. The customer thinks it's a problem because they don't know how to handle the situation. We know how to handle the situation. It's not a problem for us. It's a concern for the customer. The customer has a concern. The concerned customer. He's obviously concerned because he thinks that there is a problem because he doesn't know how to handle the situation. That's all it is. Um, what else? I think that this needs to change. The this whole technology thing too. This thing's just, oh, it irks me. It's I get it. Moving forward in life, the future, this and that. But if we're not already able to figure out our customer relations, why in the world are we having technology that's blocking our relationships with our employee to customers? And just kind of, I'm not trying to, but I think it contradicts a lot of businesses. I think businesses contradict themselves. They want customer service. They want to get these good things, so they pull out all these stops for the nice fancy electronics, this and that. But really, why aren't they just getting better training? Why aren't they looking into these things for managers? Are the managers treating their employees properly? Or this and that? Da, da, da. Everything goes down the line. It's I have a big heart for customers, and I think that whenever they do hiring for people, um, the worst, and I hate this question, and I don't know why, but I cringe all the time, and I never know how to answer these questions. What's the biggest wow moment that you had with a customer? And you know what? I don't like that question because we're not there to, I don't know how to explain it. We're not we're not there to impress. We're there to just be there for the customer. We're not, we're it's the exact same thing as somebody that does a very soulful, humble thing, but never tells anybody about it. I'm that kind of person, I do nice things, and I don't remember. I don't remember the things that I do for customers, and it's not in a mean way at all. It's a normal day-to-day thing that I do. It's the smallest things that we take for granted, that we think that like you need to do these big wow moments. But yeah, but it's not these big wow moments, and people need to get that out of their heads. And I think with this big technology, this and that, they're still thinking about these big wow moments. No, the wow moment comes from here. It comes from like imagine me being at like an interview, and someone asks me, "What's your biggest wow moment?" And I said I pulled out a chair for a customer. They would look at me dumbfoundedly. But you know what? It's the nicest thing that people could do. It's not just pulling out a chair. It's not just doing those things. It's your whole demeanor when doing it. That's what the wow moment is. Yeah, I'm venting out on all this stuff, but yeah, 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 I'm a big fan, and I I went to uh, I went to school for hospitality management, and I didn't finish. Um, I wasn't sure if it was what I wanted to do, and it's not, and it's it's weird because it's like, well, it seems like something I want to do, but the way that everything was just kind of, given in this kind of weird. Long story short, we were asked of the customer if we thought the customer was right, and people would agree that the customer was wrong, and I'm just like, why am I? I'm not trying to be, why am I here? Is this what we're training our future employees? I was shocked. I raised up my hand and I said, actually, I believe the customer's right. And I kind of said in that tone, and I looked back at the other person and I said, but you're right as well. How it goes is it's a mutual respect. So when the employee is right, therefore then the customer's right. Everyone's always thinking about, like, so the best way to look at it as is you keep customers. People always think that, oh, the customer's going to be keeping me on my toes, oh, da 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 da, right? No, you keep the customer on their toes. That's what you do. That's how you make it right. It's a mutual. It's a great feeling. It's one of the best feelings that you can ever. It's such a warm feeling when you have that kind of connection with the customer. It's like it's peace on earth. It's the weirdest thing to say, but it is, because when there's so much animosity amongst two people, right? The employee and the customer, and then you just find that common ground. It's remarkable. It's nice. It's such a nice feeling. Um, when it comes to hiring employees, um, I think that a lot of people kind of forget about empathy. Um, Sympathy is different than empathy. Empathy is really getting down to the grind and really wanting to understand, not having to understand. That's the difference. Um, a lot of people, when they end up moving up and everything, they it's, I don't know if it's true or anything, but people forget that they used to be the ones taking out the garbage. I remember I was helping a coworker, and I wasn't even a crew trainer or anything, and I told her, I said that, you know always remember in life that you were the one that did the garbage. You know, it's what you do. And I think that people in businesses higher up, I don't know them on a personal level, but seeing how everything's just kind of implemented now, like unlike the customer service base, it seems like they forgot. Yeah, big vent. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna look through my phone. I'm gonna actually see what other things. So one thing that I also noticed. So I've seen this a lot, and it irritates me so much. So whenever a customer has a concern, someone goes up to them, right? An employee goes up to them, right? And then ends up bringing the manager or this and that. Both of them. are right there in front of the customer. And I hate that. Or worse, they don't even bring they don't bring the manager, and they have two employees going up to that customer and helping them out with their situation. It's not right. And the way that I look at it, it's a weird way of saying it. It's bullying. I know. It's a weird way of looking at it, but it is. They feel attacked. When you have two people that are going up and saying, what's the concern? Oh, they have this concern. Oh well, I didn't make it that way. It's too much. It's too much. I've had something like that happen to me before, and I just want to leave the store. It's embarrassing. My people need to realize that when a customer goes up and has a concern, they're not intentionally, like being mean to you. They want some help. Um, and they get nervous. And it's you know what? And it's a horrible way of saying this. I'm going to be flat out honest. And I think that they get nervous about it is because they can't trust it. And that sucks. I think that if a customer trusted an employee and knew, if there was a concern, oh my God, they would go up while smiling and mentioning that they have concern. That's the difference. But they're going up and they're nervous and they're not happy to that, right? It's not right. Um, yeah, that's pretty much my that's pretty much my little spiel for customer service. Yeah, I really hope times change because this isn't right. It's not right. It's not. And over the phone, I don't even know if I should mention. So over the phone, customer service, it's tough. I've never really done over the phone customer service, but you want to know what it is tough. It's tough for the employee and the customer, and you know what? It's frustrating. It's a frustrating feeling because you can't break the wall, and there is ways around it. Um, there's you guys can do video. You guys can do video. Mention their name. Mention the customer's name when doing these videos. Get them a little bit more interactive, right? Make it intangible, right? Make it tangible. Make intangible tangible. So tangible, right? They want to reach out and grab it. They get so excited that they want to reach out and grab it. And you don't hear that over a phone, but you can do it, and it is possible. And if we are doing this, the future with all this technology, then we need to change our approach to make it more of the employee and customer breaking the wall. We have to. Yeah. All right. There we go. I'm done. um, anyway, I kind of hope that people kind of share this. I really do. I think that this needs to be. I think that this needs to be brought to attention, and I think that a lot of people end up just saying how bad their customers their experiences were, and then employees mention how bad their experiences were with customers. That no, that needs to stop. That's not changing. That's not changing anything. What I am saying, is changing everything. It changes. It's a different perspective. And I think that people need to have this kind of perspective when they're going to customer service. All right. Anyway, have a great day, guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.